Hello guys, so today I come back with my another video. So today I'm gonna create one Fuchka seller. There you can see I just first the wet the paper and apply some ultramarine blue and little bit of uh, crimson I use here. You can see how I apply the color on the background area with my little flat brush. And before I apply it, I just wet the paper with a round brush. You can see how I create the part, you know. Whenever you create this type of background, you should be very careful with your color and your brush also, because both are important, you know. And you can see how I create the color, and the color pigmentation is 3 on 10. uh, I think this video will really help you to develop your figurative watercolors, because those people are want to crack art college exam. It will really help them to know how to create the figurative watercolor, you know. Now you can see I apply the color on the top area with my rigger brush. Then I create the plastic effect with round synthetic brush. Here I use a Statler brush. It is a good brush for some quite details, you know. You can see how I create the plastic wrapper which are wrapping with on fuchkas, you can see. And for the basket, I use a little bit of ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. You can see how I create the minimum detail on the top area. And for the fuchka's color, I use a little bit of orange and burnt sienna. Here I use round brush, and the color I use burnt sienna, and the color pigmentation is 3 on 10. And before it's dry, I apply some more value with rigger brush, you can see. And for the value part, I use more than a base color. And here you can see I use burnt sienna and ultramarine blue for some darkest area. You can see how I create the potato. So first of all, I just wash that part, and then I add some details with rigger brush. When I add some detail, you can see I just add more value than the base color. For the container, I use again ultramarine blue, and the color pigmentation is too much low. You can see I use at least 2 on 10 or 3 on 10 on that part. So now we are going to that man, and first of all I just wash the face area, you can see. And before it's dry, I add some more detail uh, with my rigger brush. And when I add the detail, you can see how I add more color, because if I add less color, it will not carry by the paper, and it will flow down. So that's why I use a lots of color, because this is the beauty. When you apply a lots of color in wet area, it will stay there. You can see how I create the hand with the same process. For the hair, I use little bit of ultramarine blue, and the brush is rigger brush. I use sap green and little bit of burnt sienna with my round brush, and you can see how I apply the color. I just apply the color is uh, 3 on 10 the pigmentation, and you can see how I apply it. I just apply um, it totally flat, and before it's dry I just add some detail with rigger brush. I don't call it detail, it just I just add some value, that's it. So you can see how I create the dhoti. uh, for that part I use ultramarine blue, and the brush is round brush, and the brush name is Statler brush. I got it from Amazon, and when I buy the Statler pencil, the company gave this brush to me. It is totally free. Got this through the pencil box. So now you can see this man is almost done. I just add some more detail. So now you can see how I create the stand color. For that part I use burnt sienna, and the color pigmentation is 5 on 10. You can see how I create it. Before it is dry I just apply some lots of color for the darkest area. For the darkest part I use ultramarine blue. You can see how I create it. And I just create lots of detail with my rigger brush. So here you can see my painting is almost done. I think this video will help you to develop your art skill.